Morning students, yesterday we have seen the measurable properties of gases. There are 6 measurable properties of gases. Out of that we have seen 4 measurable properties of gases. That is number 1 mass, number 2 volume, number 3 pressure and number 4 temperature. Mass, that is mass of gas can be measured, and generally it is represented by the symbol number of moles. Generally, N is equal to given mass of gas divided by molar mass of gas and measured by the unit gram and kilogram. Then second is volume. Gases molecules are always in a state of rapid random motion in all possible direction in available space in a straight line path. Therefore, the gaseous molecules occupy the available space. Therefore, the volume of gas is the volume of container measured by the unit ml cm cube. Ml and cm cube both are same. Liter and dm cube also same, and the SI unit of volume is a meter cube. Then third measurable property is pressure. Gaseous molecules are always in a state of rapid random motion in all possible direction. During that rapid random motion, they collide with each other or collide inner wall of container and exert very high pressure. That is called as a pressure of gas. The pressure of gas is measured by the unit atmospheric pressure, that is ATM or mm or cm or pascal or Newton per meter square. 1 ATM is equal to 760 cm. That is also called as a torr. And 1 ATM is also called as a bar. 1 ATM is equal to 760 mm is equal to 76 centimeter cm is equal to 1.01325 into 10 to the power 5 pascal or Newton per meter square. And then fourth property is a temperature. Directly the temperature of gases cannot be measured. Therefore, we can measure the kinetic energy of gas, and that kinetic energy is converted into temperature. Because kinetic energy of gases is directly proportional to the absolute temperature T, and temperature is measured by the different units, that is degree Celsius, degree Fahrenheit and Kelvin. Kelvin is equal to degree Celsius plus 273 and degree Fahrenheit is equal to 9/5 into degree Celsius plus 32. Means these 4 properties we have seen yesterday. Then today we will see the fifth measurable property of gases is density, which is represented by D. The density is mass per unit volume. That is D is equal to m upon V, mass per unit volume. Therefore, density is measured by the unit gram per cm cube, that is CGS unit, and kg per meter cube, that is SI unit. But this density of gaseous molecules cannot be determined actually. Therefore, instead of general density, we can determine the vapor density of gases, and vapor density of gases, that is Vd, is equal to molar mass of gas divided by 2, or molar mass is equal to 2 into vapor density. Then sixth measurable property of gas is diffusion. What is diffusion? The different gases, when mixed with each other, they uniformly diffuse with each other, or the uniform spreading of 2 or more than 2 gases is called as diffusion. The uniform spreading of gases is called as diffusion. The rate of diffusion is equal to volume of gas diffused divided by time taken for diffusion. Therefore, measured by the unit cm cube per second or dm cube per second or meter cube per second. The rate of diffusion of gas depend upon the molar mass of gas. If molar mass of gas is lower, the rate of diffusion is higher. And if the molar mass of gas is higher or more, the rate of diffusion of gas is lower. These are the 6 measurable properties of gases. Then we see the different gas laws. Gas laws. The first one is Boyle's law. Boyle's law. The law states that at a constant temperature, the volume of given mass of gas is inversely proportional to the pressure of gas. The law states that at constant temperature, the volume of given mass of gas is inversely proportional to the pressure of gas. The law states that at constant temperature, the volume of given mass of gas is inversely proportional to the pressure of gas. Suppose consider here V is the volume of gas and P is the pressure of gas. Therefore, according to the statement of law, V is inversely proportional to P. Remove the proportionality sign by constant K1. Therefore, V is equal to K1 into 1 upon P, or PV is equal to K1, where K1 is the proportionality constant. From this equation, we can define the Boyle's law. The second statement, the law states that at constant temperature, the product of pressure and volume always remain constant. Second statement, the law states that at constant temperature, the product of pressure and volume always remain constant. The law states that at constant temperature, the product of pressure and volume always remain constant. That is, PV is equal to K1. Suppose consider here pressure changes P1 to P2 and volume changes V1 to V2 for the given mass of gas at constant temperature. Therefore, from the mathematical form of Boyle's law, P1 V1 is equal to K1 equation first, and P2 V2 is equal to also K1 equation second. From equation first and second, P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. To solve the numericals on Boyle's law, this formula is used. That is P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Then the second question is graphical representation of Boyle's law. That is, the first graph is the graph between pressure and volume. When we plot a graph of pressure versus volume, pressure versus volume at constant temperature, we got a parabolic curves. Parabolic curves because as pressure increases, volume of gas decreases at constant temperature T. When we plot a graph of pressure versus volume at constant temperature, different constant temperature, that is T1, T2, T3. T1 is less than T2 and T2 is less than T3. Sorry. We got a curve like this. Not straight line, parabolic curves. T1, T2, T3. Here, minimum volume, minimum temperature. Maximum volume, maximum temperature. T1 is less than T2, T2 is less than T3 at constant temperature. Therefore, these curves are called as isotherms. This is the first graph. Second graph, when we plot a graph of pressure versus inverse of volume, pressure versus reciprocal of volume. Second graph, the graph between pressure and 1 upon volume. When we plot a graph between pressure and reciprocal of volume at constant temperature, we got a straight line passing through, we got a straight line passing through origin with positive slope. Second graph, the graph between pressure and 1 upon volume, that is reciprocal of volume. When we plot a graph between pressure and reciprocal of volume at constant temperature, we got a straight line passing through the origin with positive slope. That is the nature of graph. Pressure versus 1 upon volume. These are the three different graphs at different temperature, T1, T2 and T3. Similarly here, T1 is less than T2 and T2 is less than T3. At constant temperature, these graphs are also called as isotherms. According to the statement of Boyle's law, pressure is inversely proportional to volume. Our pressure is directly proportional to 1 upon V. Therefore, we got a straight line passing through origin with positive slope. This is the second type of graph for the Boyle's law. Then third graph is when we plot a graph between product of pressure and volume versus pressure. Third graph, the graph between PV and V. When we plot a graph between product of pressure and volume with pressure, we got a straight line parallel to the pressure axis. We got a straight line parallel to the pressure axis. Why we got a straight line parallel to the pressure axis? Because according to the second statement of Boyle's law, the product of pressure and volume at constant temperature always remain constant. The nature of a graph is, that is the product of pressure and volume versus pressure, we got a different three straight line at a different temperature, T1, T2, T3. This is the nature of graph. Product of pressure and volume always remain constant. Therefore, the lines are parallel to the pressure axis. Because product of pressure and volume always remain constant. This is the Boyle's law. Then we see the second gas law, that is Charles' law. Charles' law, the law states that at constant pressure, the volume of given mass of gas is directly proportional to the absolute temperature. Second, Charles' law. The law states that at constant pressure, the volume of given mass of gas is directly proportional to the absolute temperature of gas. The law states that at constant temperature, the volume of given mass of gas is directly proportional to the absolute temperature of gas. V is the volume of gas and T is the temperature of gas. Then according to the statement of law, V is directly proportional to T. Remove the proportionality sign by K2. Therefore, V is equal to K2 into T, or V upon T is equal to K2, where K2 is the proportionality sign constant. V upon T is equal to K2. This is the mathematical form of Charles' law. Again here, suppose consider V1 changes to V2 and T1 changes to T2. Means volume of gas changes from V1 to V2 with the temperature T1 to T2 at constant pressure. Then according to the mathematical form of Charles' law, V1 upon T1 is equal to K2, equation first. And V2 upon T2 is equal to also K2, equation second. From equation first and second, V1 upon T1 is equal to V2 upon T2. This equation is used to solve the numericals on Charles' law. Means this is the statement and mathematical form of Charles' law. But Charles' law can be defined in another ways. In another ways, the law, Charles' law is defined as at constant pressure. At constant pressure, the volume of given mass of gas increases or decreases by 1 upon 273.15 of its volume at 0 degrees Celsius for every degree rise or fall in temperature. Second statement, the law states that at constant pressure the volume of given mass of gas increases or decreases by 1 upon 273.15 of its volume at 0 degrees Celsius for every degree rise or fall in temperature. The law states that at constant pressure, the volume of given mass of gas increases or decreases by 1 upon 273.15 of its volume at 0 degrees Celsius for every degree rise or fall in temperature. Consider here V0 is the volume of gas at 0 degrees Celsius temperature. As the volume increases, its Vt at T degree Celsius temperature by increasing the temperature, the change in volume is delta V is equal to V0 into the change in volume V0 into T upon 273.15. This is the change in volume, delta V. Therefore, the final volume of the gas is, that is Vt, is equal to delta V plus V0. Final volume of the gas Vt is equal to delta V plus V0 or V0 plus delta V. Put the value of delta V from this equation. Vt is equal to V0 into T upon 273. Vt is equal to V0 plus V0 into T upon 273.15. Take V0 common here. Vt is equal to V0 into 1 plus T upon 273.15 or Vt is equal to V0 into 273.15 plus T upon 273.15. Here the absolute temperature T Kelvin is equal to T0 degree Celsius plus 273.15 and T0 Kelvin is equal to 273.15 plus 0. Therefore, this value becomes T Kelvin and this value becomes T0 Kelvin. Therefore, Vt is equal to V0 into T upon T0 or Vt upon T is equal to V0 upon T0. From this equation, we can say that V upon T is equal to K2. This is the equation for Charles' law. Right? This is the second statement, that is the volume of given mass of gas increases or decreases by 1 upon 273.15 of its volume at 0 degree Celsius for every degree rise or fall in temperature. Right? Then the second is graphical representation of Charles' law. There are two different graphs for the Charles' law. The first graph is when we plot a graph of volume versus temperature at constant pressure. First graph, volume versus temperature at constant pressure. When we plot a graph between volume of gas versus temperature at constant pressure, we got a straight line with positive slope. Why we got a straight line with positive slope? Because according to the statement of Charles' law, volume of given mass of gas is directly proportional to the absolute temperature at constant pressure. We got a curve like this. Means this is 1 bar, pressure 1 atm, 2 atm or 3 atm or 3 bar. Means here as pressure increases, volume decreases, and if pressure decreases, volume increases. Means this is the graph between volume and temperature at constant pressure. Therefore, it is called as isobar. At constant pressure, it is called as isobar. This is the first graphical representation of the Charles' law. From second graph, we can say that at absolute zero temperature, the volume of given mass of gas becomes absolutely zero. Explain. This can be explained on the basis of graphical representation. The volume of given mass of gas is zero at absolute zero temperature. At absolute zero temperature, the volume of given mass of gas is explained. At absolute zero temperature means 0 Kelvin. Absolute zero temperature means 0 Kelvin temperature. 0 Kelvin means minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. Here at 0 degrees Celsius temperature, volume of gas is V0. As the temperature increases up to T degrees Celsius, means at T degrees Celsius temperature, volume of gas is Vt. The increase or change in volume, that is a delta V, is delta V is equal to V0 into T upon 273.15. Right? The final volume Vt is equal to Vt is equal to V0 plus delta V. Therefore, Vt is equal to V0 plus V0 into T upon 273.15. That is Vt is equal to V0 into 1 plus T upon 273.15. Right? Here, volume at temperature, that is minus 273.15 degrees Celsius, when we plot a graph of volume versus temperature, that is 273.15 degrees Celsius, and here the graph is like this. Here the temperature is minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. Means the graph, when we plot a graph of volume versus temperature in degrees Celsius, we got a curve like this. This graph or line insect the volume axis and touches to the temperature axis at temperature minus 273.15 degrees Celsius. As the temperature decreases at constant pressure, temperature decreases, volume decreases. And at minus 273.15 degrees Celsius temperature, the gases get converted into liquid or may be converted into solids. Seizes becomes motionless and converted into solid. And at that temperature, the volume of given mass of gas becomes zero. That is, V at temperature minus 273.15 degrees Celsius is equal to V0 into 1 plus temperature T minus 273.15 divided by 273.15. Same figure get cancelled. V at minus 273.15 is equal to V0 into 1 minus 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Therefore, V0 into 0 is equal to 0. Therefore, at absolute zero temperature or at minus 273.15 degrees Celsius temperature, the volume of given mass of gas becomes zero. Right? This is the graphical representation of Charles' law. Then we see the relation between pressure and density of gas. The relationship between pressure and density of gas. Relation between pressure and density of gas. Here we know that density is mass per unit volume. That is, D is equal to M upon V, or V is equal to M upon D. This is equation first. And then according to the statement of Boyle's law, Boyle's law states that at constant temperature, the product of pressure and volume always constant. That is, PV is equal to K1. Equation second. Put the value of V from equation. Put the value of V from equation first in equation second. That is, P into V M upon D is equal to K1, or P upon D is equal to K1 upon M. M is the given mass of gas. As K1 and M are constant, as K1 and M are constants, therefore K1 upon M is equal to K. P upon D is equal to K, or P is equal to K into D, or P is directly proportional to D. Means from this equation we can say that the pressure of given mass of gas is directly proportional to the density of gas, right? From this equation, suppose consider here P1 changes to P2 and D1 changes to D2 at constant temperature. Therefore, P1 upon D1 is equal to K, equation first, and P2 upon D2 is equal to also K, equation second. From equation first and second, P1 upon D1 is equal to P2 upon D2. To solve the numericals, this formula is used, right? This is the relation between pressure and density of gas at constant temperature, right? Then we see the Gay-Lussac's law. Third law, Gay-Lussac's law. Third law is Gay-Lussac's law. First, Boyle's law at constant temperature. Second, Charles' law at constant pressure. And third, Gay-Lussac's law at constant volume. The law states that at constant volume, the pressure of given mass of gas is directly proportional to the temperature of gas. Therefore, it is also called as a PT law. The law states that at constant volume, the pressure of given mass of gas is directly proportional to the temperature of gas. The law states that at constant volume, the pressure of given mass of gas is directly proportional to the temperature of gas. Suppose consider here P is the pressure of gas and T is the temperature of gas. Now, according to the statement of law, at constant volume, P is directly proportional to T. Remove the proportionality sign by K3. Therefore, P is equal to K3 into T, or P upon T is equal to K3, where K3 is the proportionality sign constant, right? Suppose consider here P1 changes to P2 and T1 changes to T2 at constant volume. Therefore, according to the mathematical form of PT law or Gay-Lussac's law, P1 upon T1 is equal to K3, equation first. and P2 upon T2 is equal to K3, equation second. From equation first and second, P1 upon T1 is equal to P2 upon T2. This formula is used to solve the numericals, right? Then graphical representation of Gay-Lussac's law. That is the graph between pressure and temperature at constant volume. When we plot a graph between pressure and temperature of gas at constant volume, right? We got a straight line passing through origin with positive slope. When we plot a graph of pressure versus temperature, we got a straight line passing through the origin, right? Suppose there are three different graphs. Means this is V1, V2, V3. Means here, V2, V3, V2, V1. Means as the temperature increases, volume increases. As the temperature decreases, volume decreases. Right? Means here like this. V1, V2, V3. Pressure, V1, V2, V3. Here. V1, V2, V3. V1 is less than V2 and V2 is less than V3. The graph is at constant volume, therefore it is called as isochore. Iso means constant and choric means volume. Therefore, it is called as isochore. Means pressure is higher, volume is lower. Pressure is lower, volume is higher. Because pressure is inversely proportional to the volume. This is the graphical representation of Gay-Lussac's law or PT law. We will stop here and then tomorrow we will continue the fourth law, that is Avogadro's law. Have a nice day.